It's time to talk cars.
I'm actually not a big car guy.
Really? I love my car. I live in it.
Yeah, no, the problem for me with most cars is that they do not have booster rockets or machine guns. So, it's
yeah,
an issue.
Anthony, you're talking about the Batmobile, and you can't have the Batmobile because A, you're not a superhero, and B, they're not real.
You don't know that I'm not a superhero, and number two, they are too. Somebody's got to build all those cars for movies and TV, and that someone is Fireball Tim. He is one of the biggest names in Hollywood. Fireball Tim is the go-to guy for Hollywood vehicles, and you would be surprised at the number of movies he's actually designed vehicles for. Movies like Batman, Captain America, Gone in 60 Seconds, Speed, Starship Troopers, which is the greatest movie of all time. Way too many for me to name.
Well, you actually seem to know a lot about cars for someone who says he isn't a big car guy.
Well, I am a big movie guy, and I'm a big comic book guy, and you know who else is? Ron Richards, the co-founder of iFanBoy.com. And Ron is a lucky man because we just sent him down to Fireball Tim's Hollywood car lot so he can give us a closer look at some of the most famous cars on the silver screen, inside and out.
You know, rocket launchers are nice, but I'm kind of more interested in the car stereo system.
You think superheroes care about their car stereos?
Yeah, you need motivational beats to go fight bad guys, right? No? All right.
That's valid.
Well, let's go watch and find out.
Hey, I'm Ron Richards from iFanBoy, and I'm here on special assignment for Signal by Sony. Super excited. We're here at a secret location in Hollywood, one of the best secret locations in Hollywood, the home of Fireball Tim. If you've seen movies and comic book movies and science fiction movies like I have, you've probably seen his work. He's done the cars for all the movies that we love, and guess what? They're all back here, so we're gonna go check it out. Hey, Fireball, thanks for having us over to your amazing place of work.
My pleasure, Ron.
This is a really cool place to come to every day.
It is.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
How did you get into modifying cars and this kind of business as in the beginning?
Well, I grew up in a Hollywood family. My parents were writer-producers, and they were always doing a variety of different projects, so a lot of them had to do with vehicles. And then one day, my dad, back in the late 70s or early 80s, somewhere around there, brought me out to Cinema Vehicle Services, where we are. And I just saw how incredible, you know, that cars are a character in films as much as the actors are. And it just took off from there.
So when you get a project and they come to you with we've got a movie and we need this kind of car, what kind of research do you do to build that character of the car? Do you read the script? Do you try to understand the driver of it?
The answer would be yes to all of that.
Yeah.
Is that the more diverse you can be with building the character of the car, the better it is. We even make suggestions to certain things because sometimes we'll build stunt vehicles, sometimes there'll be a hero car. Every car has a different application.
And take me through the process of modding a car. Like, do you start out on the drawing board and sketch out the visuals of it, the paint job, all the way down to the type of engine, to the type of radio, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. So we'll literally start from the concept phase, and that could be a simple sketch. Yeah. It could be renderings we get from the studio. It could be an idea that the director comes and wants to talk about, and I'll develop renderings for that. It can be from the broadest sense as to the different versions of the car as the overall picture, down to the tiny details, everything from what type of motor it would have to what type of stereo system it would have.
Very cool. Yeah, and that's one thing I think that I found fascinating is that a lot of people watch movies, they see cars, and we've seen the behind-the-scene documentaries, and people think it's just a shell and it doesn't actually run. But these cars work. I mean, they've got engines and they've got car stereos and electronics. Why go through all that level of detail to make the car work when it's movie magic?
Well, you have to look at the fact that the cars are actors, and sometimes they'll pull a stunt like an actor would. Sometimes they'll show up late. Sometimes they won't start properly. Sometimes they'll be temperamental. For each individual scene, there's a focus, a goal that the director wants to achieve. It may be the interior of the car, or the exterior, maybe a stunt, it may be simple closing of the door. You know, all those intricate little things is part of the story to be able to convey.
Well, you've got a ton of great cars here. I think you're going to show me some of them.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'd
you
love
bet.
to check them all out.
All right, let's go.
So we're in a very unusual car.
This is the four-wheel drive from the movie The Flintstones.
Excellent.
It is built on a Dodge Ram chassis.
Okay.
It is actually electric. So
it does have an engine. I don't need to use my feet to propel it.
You can try, but I wouldn't recommend it. It wouldn't go too far.
All cars in here must be worth so much money. Do you have a intense security system that protects them? Or?
Funny you should ask.
Yeah?
We got our buddy right here.
Oh, Jesus,
from,
look at that.
Terminator 3. So he's our sentry. You know, he may look like he's sleeping right now, but just don't move too fast. Otherwise, these things will kick into gear.
So now this is actually fully functioning. It moves, rolls, the whole kind of thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the actual piece that was used in Terminator 3. It's just kind of a neat thing. It's a vehicular contraption. It's not necessarily a car, but it does move on its own.
So this is a more recent movie car from The Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nick Cage, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We took this to a car show last weekend, and I asked some guys there who were collecting Rolls Royces. I said, if you can guess what year this is, I'll give you the car.
Yeah.
And most of them said 1935, 36, and where they were surprised to hear it was in 2010,
Exactly.
which is what it is. It's built on a Chevy truck chassis.
Yep.
It is an exact duplicate of Nicolas Cage's car that he owns, that they used for the film, which is the $1 Million Rolls. This was built for about $500,000, but it's a stunt vehicle.
Now this is one I'm super excited about because this is going to be in the upcoming Captain America movie.
Yeah, several of these were used for Captain America. They're regular, old classics, but you'll see that although this has some vinyl on it, those cars back then, they didn't have vinyl, so all this stuff is painted.
And this one is styled, it's a US Army military car, kind of limo kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So when you get like a retro movie like Captain America take place in the 40s, are you looking for original parts, or are you just making it look the part?
Once again, the answer would be yes. It depends on the vehicle. So sometimes, we'll find vehicles that don't quite, aren't the right colors. We have to modify them. It depends on the scene. This had, tinted windows.
Sure.
They didn't really have tint back then.
All right, so I heard a rumor that you've got a car that's near and dear to my childhood, the General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Where'd you hear that?
On the lot. They were saying, I heard whispers that there's the General Lees.
Yeah, that's right here.
Oh, there's the orange.
This is the original car from the TV series, one of the last remaining cars. You'll see that the paint is really bad because basically all they had was some spray cans and not much budget. But it sounds great. We don't drive it that much, take it to shows, things like that.
Get some air.
But it's worth a lot.
Does the horn make the noise as well?
It's not hooked up on this one, but do you want to have a seat? Come on over.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Now this is what I'm talking about. This is the car.
Absolutely.
So this is Eleanor. So give me the full specs.
This is the #2 hero car.
Okay.
So there was a number of cars that were done as stunts, but this was the primary vehicle that Nicolas Cage drove in the film. You can tell because it has the nitrous bottle, the stuff that's actually hooked up. He's a very good driver. He did a tremendous amount of the driving stunts himself.
So this is a 67 Shelby?
67. It has some modification, as you can see.
Yeah. So when this movie came out, did you know this car is going to be the star? This is going to be the one everyone's going to talk about?
Well, we hoped. You really can't lose with a car like this,
right?
And Nicolas Cage is an A-list actor, so he's really going to bring it home well.
Yeah, and that movie came out 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah,
and the car lives on much more than the movie.
Absolutely. Actually, everybody knows her.
So you're gonna let me borrow it for the day? I can drive it around, right?
That would be no. Nice try, though. You got to be kidding me.
So another car I'm a big fan of is the Mini. I love those little cars, and I hear you got a stocked one.
Stocked, absolutely. Yeah. Behind us is a 650 horsepower Mini Cooper police car. We built it over 13 weeks on the Speed Channel show Street Tuner Challenge. It's chock full of Sony gear, which is really cool. It actually has 2 systems.
Oh, wow.
So it has the up front system and full speakers and subs and everything, but it also has a standalone 40 mile an hour, what we call the Sound Rover, which is an RC car that doubles as a Sony system. So the concern was that the motor was so loud, we weren't sure we could hear the music. It's actually the other way around.
Oh, wow.
The music is so great, you don't even hear the motor. And it can do donuts and all kinds of cool stuff.
So I'm back here in the Captain America car because I just can't get enough. This has been such an awesome day here at the Hollywood Garage with Fireball. Awesome guy, awesome cars. I can't believe we saw so many cool cars from all the great movies that we love. Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds was the clear highlight car for me. That was so, so cool. So thank you, Fireball, for giving me the opportunity to check that out. And thanks to Anthony and Samia. He's had a great time. Thanks for sending me down to Hollywood, and back to you guys.
All right, we want to thank Ron for that report. That must have been a lot of fun. I am kind of jealous, actually.
I'm so jealous. Anyway, that's it for Signal for now, but if you want to watch more of our show, just go to sony.com/signal. There you'll find links to all of the products we featured on this episode. Or you can go to youtube.com/signal to post your comments and questions. We do read them, so please be nice, right?
Sure.
No?
Or be mean.
Or be mean. Be mean.
Give it to me real.
Be mean to Anthony. All right, guys, for now, this is Sami and Anthony saying see you next time.